Hi, I'm David from OutsideOurBubble.com. You're probably wondering, why am I coming up on the roof? Well, if you read the description, you know why I'm coming up on the roof. That's because we had a inside squirrel cage. Not sure why they call it a squirrel cage. If I call it anything, it's gonna be a hamster wheel. But they call these squirrel cage fans for some reason or another. Basically, it's a round fan. It's a cylindrical fan. And the problem is, in the Mach 8 air conditioners, these explode over time. And guess what? The one inside of this one exploded. So we're going to open up this air conditioner and we're going to replace the squirrel cage fan, which is the inside fan, not the outside fan, but the inside fan that moves the air throughout the coach. This is responsible for not only pulling air in from your return vents, but also ejecting air out to the coach, the cold air side also. So this is what it looks like right now. And I bet when I open this one up, we're going to find one of these that's basically blown apart. So let's do that, shall we? Now, what you're going to need. Now, and I'm doing this video because basically I want you to know that you can do this. Okay, if you have one of these blow apart on you, you surely can do this. You don't have to spend $125 an hour or whatever the labor rate is to repair this. And it's relatively simple, it's relatively quick, you just need to know what to look for. So, you need to get one of these, and this is actually the hardest thing to get. These are hard to find because the Mach 8 air conditioners are used so much in many different RVs, not just Tiffin, but any RV manufacturer. A lot of them use Mach 8s. And they're a really good air conditioner, except for the fact that these things tend to explode. And they usually tend to explode because they get built up of, people don't clean their air filters like they should. And so they start to wobble over time and that weakens them and boom, they blow up. And boy, when they blow up, it's a loud sound.
Any info on your end?
No, nothing compromised. Don't trust Ian Reed.
Oh, that's there.
No.
It's a bit cluttery over there. Can you?
I mean, it's not moving.
That's the air conditioner.
Can you run the detail by?
And then you're panicking trying to figure it out, and then you got to turn off your AC and you realize, oh, it's something with the AC. But it's quite unmistakable once you've heard it once. And I'm now going to show you that you too can replace one of these without too much trouble. So the first and foremost thing is getting one of these. I have links in the description of the video to Amazon, but good luck finding them. I actually had to order one directly from Tiffin, who actually had them in stock. They're just, for some reason, very hard to get sometimes. So we need one of those. Second thing you're going to need is a large size Phillips head screw set. I usually just use my impact driver to get off the top cover. You're going to also need the next thing you'll need after that is a 3/8 inch socket, a 3/8 inch socket, and use an extension because you'll see why in a minute. And then you'll move on to you'll need a T25 torque wrench, a T25 torque screwdriver, excuse me, not a wrench, a screwdriver. Okay, those are all the three things that you need in order to replace this. So let's get to work, shall we? So first thing to do is remove the cover, 4 screws. Now, I'm assuming that you guys have done this before, this part, because I'm talking about taking this off so you can clean the inside of the air conditioner. Because it's really a good idea to keep the coils clean, because that's going to help your efficiency of your air conditioner quite a bit. All you're going to do now is lift this off from the back going forward, push forward a little bit, and this comes right off like this. Nothing to it. It's lightweight plastic. Don't let it fly off the roof if it's windy, and you're good to go. So, Brent, under here, right here, this is your main outdoor fan for the condenser, and this is where it goes through the cooling coils and everything, the condenser coils, and this is the main fan. Now, you might have seen in some previous videos where I've actually replaced this added this piece, which you likely will not have on your air conditioner unless you added the hush kit like I did. The Mach 8s are notoriously loud air conditioners. So adding what they call a hush kit, which is the replacement of this fan, and putting in this little controller is a godsend, let me tell you. If you haven't seen the hush kit information, look that up. And so you'll likely not have this on your air conditioner. I do. So just a heads up, that's the difference here. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to move over and take off 4 screws to get to the inside cooling coils and the fan. And that's where we're going to find it blown up. Now on the front of it, it's really easy. The nuts are right here. So remove the nut here, remove the nut here. Make sure you don't lose them, they're very small. Now this is why you need the extension, because back here, you can see they're down inside. So see that down there? And then it's right down there. So make sure you have an extension on your socket wrench or whatever. I use a driver because I'm just used to using a driver. If you use a socket wrench, just make sure you have an extension. And again, being careful because you don't want to lose that little nut because it's really small. It's really small. Come on, get out of there. Come on. Ah, of course. It's always something. Oh, see, dropped it in. Okay, there we go, got it. Okay, so there's 3, and then there's 4 right here. Got it. Okay, so now this lifts right off. Again, you won't have this, so this cover will come right off. I have to move mine to the side because I have these wires connected to it. So underneath here, see, it comes right off, and there's your inside cooling coil. So here we are inside the air conditioner itself, and this is the condenser. This is the cooling coils. This is where you get your cold air from right here, and underneath here is your fan, and this just lifts off. There's nothing holding it on, just lifts off, and look, there you are, blown up fan. Can't miss it. Kind of telling, if you will. Good fan, bad fan. So just take off this ring. It's not connected. It's not supposed to be connected. It just comes off out of here. There's another one right here. You can lift it up out of the way if you want and get it out of the way. And then first thing you're going to do is remove any pieces that are sitting on top of the wheel. As you can see, like I said, it blew apart. And down inside, I see other fan blades inside the return air duct area. But before you can get in there, you need your T25 wrench or screwdriver. Why am I saying wrench? I keep saying wrench over and over again. So in any case, just go ahead and basically right over here, Brandon, if you can see this over here, go ahead and step around there. Right here, all it is a set screw that holds this into place with a little washer with a rubber stopper on it. And you're just gonna back that screw out. There it is, right there. Now, from experience, these sometimes can be very hard to get off the spindle. Even though it just slides off, these can be hard to get off the spindle. What you want to be careful of is when you're trying to remove it, you don't pull the motor off the motor mount right here. Because there's a motor mount that holds this in place right here, and you really don't want to stress this too much, because if you screw up your motor mount and it's not in balance anymore, then you're kind of screwed. And then you need one of these. But so basically, if you hold on to the pedestal and you work on it back and forth from the inside, pushing with your thumbs or whatever, it'll finally let loose. There we go. Now be aware when you pull it off, there's a big flat washer on the inside which goes right against here, which stops against there. And you don't want to remove that. You want to make sure you keep that. Okay? And put that right back on. But there's the fan itself, blown apart, which means we have to go piece hunting. So now, reach down inside of your air duct and pull out pieces of the fan. Yay! Oh, I forgot. One very important tip of this whole thing, make sure your air conditioners are off. Yeah, don't be up here working on this thing and not have your air conditioners off. I probably should have said that right in the beginning of the video. Turn off your ACs. Because if for some reason this was to turn on, while you're up here, that's not going to be a pretty thing. Any case, so make sure you reach inside the air exchanger, feel around, make sure you don't find any more pieces that flew inside the channels. This side would be your cold air return side. And then this side is actually where it pulls air. You won't find anything over there because there's a wall in between. This is where your air comes in from your coach, goes through the coil to get cooled down, goes down, and is then pushed into the coach. But just make sure you reach deep as far as you can looking for other pieces, which I don't find any. So I feel good about that. While you're also in here, clean this out. There's no reason not to. Just make sure it's all clean and everything. This one is pretty well clean. This is our mid-air conditioner, which isn't used as much. And then it's as easy as going backwards and reverse, putting it all back together. So inside the fan, you'll notice there's two sides of the fan. One of them has a square on the motor mount here. There's a squared off end on it. That squared off end is going to go on this side. You can look and you can see it here. There's a squared off end. This side's round completely, and the other side is squared off. So the squared off side goes to the outside, so you can slide it all the way through, and it fits right in. So that's all we're going to do. Is now we're going to slide that on, line that up, slide it on until you find that square side. That should give me my best shot at getting this in. Oh, there we go. Slid right in now. Okay, so there. Yeah, it's against it. You can see there's pretty much, if you come over this way, Brenda, you can pretty much see that it's even on both sides now, and that is tight against there. If you look in and feel with your finger, you can see the shaft is all the way through and just flat with the inside of here. So now it's easy as taking your screw. As easy, yeah, right. As if any of this has been easy, right? Actually, it is. If I wasn't talking so much, I can get it done. But once you get the screw started, again, make sure you don't lose that. Once you get the screw started, put the screwdriver in place, and then you can do that. It helps fast. It's faster than turning it by hand. And then just tighten it down stiffly, but not too stiffly. Give her a spin, make sure everything looks good, which it does. Okay, now we're backing up and we're putting things back together. So make sure you take these, which again are not part of this, put them in the grooves right here, and put it in the groove over here. See that? Again, so basically there's a groove, and this just sets right in the groove. Okay, same thing on this side. Okay, see, they don't touch, they're just there. Okay, then you're going to take this. It doesn't have any screws or anything. It does have grooves though. Just make sure these go inside the grooves on both sides. So line up the fronts, and then slide them right down over the top, and that should be in the grooves on both sides. And there, it just drops right into place, as you can see. And then this will not move out of place, and that's good. So at this point, we literally can turn this on and see how this spins up. I'm not going to do that for safety reasons, and I'm pretty assured that I know this is going to work. But you could hold on to this, stay away from this. Again, I take no responsibility if you choose to do this. And then start it up, have your wife start it up or whatever, and see how it goes. But I'm just going to put this back together. So when you're putting it back together, the important part here is lining it up. So lining it up, the motor mount, it only goes on one way, and these have to line up, of course, with the bolts. And if the bolts line up and it slides on, you know you got it on the right way, And that's all you got to do. Simple as that. Then put these back. One, two, maybe two, maybe three, maybe four. So small. Come on. You know, I wouldn't be me unless I had issues like this, huh? I'm making these dumb videos. Okay, so there we go. And we can just torque those on real quick. And then the back ones. Again, you're going to want to put them on, obviously, with your fingers at first, unless you have a magnetic bit, which also might not be a bad idea, using a magnetic bit to hold them in place as you put them on. And then it'll probably be easier to get them off, too, because they'll follow the bit when you take them off. And, of course, this one I dropped again. Brenda's laughing behind the camera. You just can't see it. Yeah, thanks, hon. Yeah, she doesn't have a mic on, so you don't get to hear her snarky little smirks in the background. Or maybe you do, I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm just trying to, again, this is the most difficult part because this one has got the compressor in the way. And not that it's difficult, it's just that you're trying to get a very small nut on a very small bolt. And then it's, I think the hardest thing about this whole entire thing is those damn screws. So, we got everything out. That's all good. Oh, I didn't bring my phone up, did I? Shoot! I want to turn it on to make sure it all works. But I can't because I didn't bring my phone up with me. And yes, I am able to activate my air conditioners on my phone. Thanks to my buddy Michael. Any case, I put this back on, just make sure the threads line up. Notice the front, there's a little lip thingy here, right there. Make sure this is in front of that. And it'll lock right into place like that. Line up the holes. And then switch back to your Phillips head. Drop that in. And one more. Don't cross thread it. Okay, cross thread it, that's not a good thing. In any case, we just replaced the squirrel cage fan inside a Mach 8 air conditioner, an Airxcel Coleman Airxcel Mach 8 air conditioner. And that was the replacement of the squirrel fan. Again, AKA hamster fan or circular fan, whatever you may choose. I should be able to go downstairs now and turn this on, and that will fire up and everything will run just fine, and I'm confident it'll do that. So, I hope you found this video helpful. Listen, if I can tell you anything, right now, order yourself a replacement fan. Order at least one, if not two, replacement fans from wherever you can find them. I'll put a link at the bottom to Amazon where I got mine from, but they come in and out of stock all the time. That's how much these things are in demand, and I'm not kidding. So I actually ordered 3 of them. So I now have 2 replacements right now, just in case we lose another one, because now we're going on 7 years old. Some people lose these in 2 years. Some of them lose them in 2 months. Others, like me, are lucky enough, and they've lasted us 6 years or so. So, but as you can see, it will destroy, it will break. So at least order yourself one and keep it in stock, because you will someday need it if you have a Coleman Mach 8 air conditioner. If you don't believe me, do a search on the internet for Coleman Mach 8 air conditioner blower fan, and you'll find all kinds of people talking about it on RV community forums and what have you. I'm David Bott from OutsideOurBubble.com. Hope you found this video useful. Take care, keep safe. We'll see you on the road. Cooler, I hope. Bye. OutsideOurBubble.com. See ya.